friends, and welcome back to Paint Bravely, the podcast where you can find a little bit of encouragement, discover new ways to make your hobby more fun, and most importantly, learn to paint bravely. Now, once again, I have no idea what I'm doing for an intro. I'm just not very good at it. So the first thing I'm just going to ask is, Brent, what have you been up to since we last talked?
Oh, thanks, Casey. I'll handle this one. First off, Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2022. I've got a real good feeling about this one, guys. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm
right there with you. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're still podcasting. Apparently, you guys are still listening. We appreciate it. And yeah, let's get this show on the road. So, the last couple of weeks, useful tidbits in my life. Mm-hmm. I learned how to take a photograph of a Mini with an infinite black backdrop.
That's been a long time coming, right?
It has been. So kind of low-key, I have secretly been very jealous of everybody who seems to have this skill of taking a picture that just has, complete midnight black in the backdrop. Mm-hmm. Or how do they do that? What are they doing? And I mean, the hobby and everything that goes along with it is just one big old learning curve. Pick stuff up when you pick it up. But here's what I learned. You get a black felt backdrop, and of course, in my case, this came from the Dollar General. So it's a 1 foot by 2 foot piece of black felt. Problem is the person in the textile mill wasn't cutting straight lines that day, so it is not a full 1 foot in many segments, but it's okay. It's okay.
It'll work.
It was a good learning experience, and in the future, I'm going to go to a higher brow dollar store to buy a bigger piece of black felt. But anyway, felt isn't shiny, so it's black and it doesn't reflect light very well. So the idea is to kind of stretch it out so you're just not getting folds and stuff that have a different reflectivity. Get it as far behind your target as you can. I mean, ideally many feet behind your target, and like a nice big piece of black felt. And then the trick is to put as many lights as you can right on your Mini, and try to not have too much of that spill onto the backdrop, however far back it is. And then, get your camera, turn the exposure down or up or down, whatever, so it's a dark picture. And there you go. A pretty good shot at taking pictures where the everything, the entire world behind the Mini just disappears into a black night. And it's cool. It's cool.
It is cool. And honestly, it makes your model look way better than it has any right to look. Like, it's amazing how much better your models look, and where you place highlights and certain things, especially when you use really bright colors. It's like, wow, this model's popping. It's real good. Yeah. I mean, obviously anybody on Instagram is like, they're trying to take advantage of that. Like, my entire portfolio, we'll say, on Instagram is the infinite black background stuff. I've also done some infinite white kind of backgrounds, and there's a whole other thing with that. But yeah, like it definitely takes advantage of that. Like, it looks nice under so many lights, and that crispy dark, like almost like black lining around your entire model. It just makes it better. Yeah.
Right. And then I think there's a whole other world of even enhancing that black in photo processing afterwards. But really, if you just get the the physics of it right, then there you go. Yeah.
Deepening the blacks, again, like black lining, it accentuates it even more, right? That's not bad though. So it's only been like what, 3 years, 20 years?
Depending on where you're counting from, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, on the podcast, I got really excited when I changed out my white backdrop for a black poster board, which, under my bright lights always shows up as light gray. But still, light gray is better than bright white. It
is infinitely better, and it makes your model look awesome. So, yeah.
But even better than light gray is infinite black. Ooh.
Yeah. Now that'd be the thing. I mean, I've seen it, and I've seen how it's done for filming like a painting tutorial. but it's a pain. And I think you're actually 99% of the way there, because you're already used to like painting on a kind of pedestal where it's like, this is where I'm in focus. I can't move from this location. So it's kind of like, instead of having the camera up and over, it's angled down and the background's way off to the side. So you have that infinite black background, but you're holding and you're staying in one spot. So you could actually do it.
Hey, maybe in our 2024 episode, I'll start off by like, hey, guess what I figured out? How to take video with an infinite black backdrop.
There you go. 2 years from now.
No, that one's less important to me. For actual painting footage, perfectly content with the black poster board that's not infinite black,
Right. As long as it's in focus. Yeah.
But yeah, for some glamour shots, get something flat and black, far away from your model. Turn off all the lights in the room. Put a bunch of desk lamps right on your model. Light it up good. Just real close by. Set the exposure of your camera down to pretty dark. Take some pictures. See what happens. And yeah, this is one of those things. Like every time I learn like a solid actual achievement nugget, man, feels good. Get them achievement nuggets. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's not bad at all. I've done it more. I mean, I know how to do it on a camera, but on my phone, it was pretty easy to do because it's all, it's kind of like digitally already enhancing a lot of that. And it goes, oh, you want this to be black, and then it just makes it black, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So if you're out there and you have a phone, like just an iPhone, relatively new one, I'm sure, any phone really, with a halfway decent camera, you kind of lower that exposure, by dragging your finger down, and the software generally makes up for that, and it'll make an infinite background for you. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I do want to, so I figured it out with my, my more expensive camera. I do want to figure it out with my phone just to tuck that little bit of knowledge in my back pocket, but yep, pretty happy with myself over here. Pretty,
yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. I'm excited to see some crispy shots on the nice black background. I think I probably have that. You've already posted them on Instagram, right?
Yeah. My video from a couple of days ago had some of those shots. I've got some of them on Instagram. This is a whole other topic, but even got some of them on TikTok now.
Ooh, look at Brent coming out of nowhere. What you doing on TikTok, Brent?
Man, I've been learning. I've been picking up new skills this week. So I've been frustrated that I haven't figured out how people are posting videos on Instagram. So I finally did the effort and like, okay. Although you can now post pictures from your computer to Instagram, to post videos, you still have to post it from your phone. So I've had to like render Instagram videos in the correct 1080 by 1080 square, send it to my email, download it on my phone, upload it to Instagram. But I got it. I figured it out. So boom, there's some other knowledge. And Twitter's the same way. If you want to directly upload a video, you have to send it to your phone in 1920 by 1200 resolution. Upload it from your phone. And TikTok is the abominable, the unholy reverse letterbox.
Oh yes, very much so.
Super portrait mode. It's 1080 by 1920.
That sounds awful. Just to say it out loud, like, that shouldn't even be a thing.
It really is, but yeah, if you want to upload videos of your hobby progress to different social media platforms, you need to have those videos in different resolutions, upload them to your phone. Although I think actually TikTok I was able to upload from my computer, but I still had to take something that was 1920 by 1080, re-render it into a very narrow rectangle, 1080 by 1920.
That sounds so
or that
awful.
aspect ratio at least, and it felt bad. Yeah.
I mean, maybe you get some people. Yeah.
nobody has found my TikTok yet. I've uploaded a couple videos. I thought they were pretty good videos. They were videos that were doing the numbers on Instagram, but I got 7 viewers on TikTok and 2 likes. Seven views and 2 likes on TikTok.
I love it. That's so good.
Everybody starts somewhere, though, you know?
I mean, look, like, I remember starting on YouTube, like, dude, like, 5-10 views, that felt pretty good. When you sat down and you're like, you know what? 100 people watched this video. Like, 100 people. That's right. Legit. That's 100 people sat and watched this. 40% or so of it. But yeah, whatever. That's it seems like a lot of people. And obviously, like, now it's just stupid. We're in stupid territory. But like,
it's true.
It still feels
true. We're spoiled. I go on TikTok. I expect to be an instant TikTok sensation, and I don't even do a dance. I just put some video of clamping contrast paint to my desk and expect it to do well.
And, with no music.
It's a whole new world now. Yeah. Still, that vertical rectangle though, that still makes me angry. It's like, I remember when TVs went from squares to landscape rectangles, and I remember the salespeople at Circuit City were being like, no, it's because your eyes see the world in landscape mode, like our eyes are set next to each other, not on top of each other. Like, it's like our vision is landscape mode. And now it seems like we're going all the way back. Like, our vision is based on the dimensions of our cell phone now. Our vision is based on the ergonomics of holding a cell phone now. And like, I feel so bad.
Turns
what
out,
does that say about the world we live in?
It's not great. Turns out Demolition Man was correct, and we're all going to be watching television and movies in just up and down all the time. It's always vertical. Yeah, it's a sad thing. And I mean, it's like, I kind of get it, but like, I don't understand why it's not just as easy to flip that phone sideways and enjoy your entertainment. It used to bother me when, like, I'd go to a friend's house or somebody would come over to my house more often than not, right? We'd watch a movie and they're like, ugh, letterbox? Really? And it's like, yeah, really? And it's like they didn't get it. And I feel like that's where we're at again. It's like, now it's just like, oh, what are these people? Did they win? I don't understand.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't understand TikTok. That's what we're saying. But I did figure out how to take cool pictures with a black backdrop. And I did figure out how to upload things to the trifecta of TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram as videos.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's a good skill. Good
that's one
skills.
Way to, I'm getting better at sharing my work, but got to come up with a TikTok dance if I want to really succeed.
I mean, Goobertown dance seems like a thing that we probably need.
We'll start brainstorming this.
The world needs the Goober tap.
All right, what's been going on with you, Casey? You've achieved internet fame recently for your bucket chicken situation.
Oh, so what you're saying is, no, I didn't. The chicken in the bucket achieved fame. Hashtag chuck it. Is that it? No, chicken in the bucket.
Hashtag chuck it.
Either way. But yeah, no, the chicken in the bucket went far. I didn't think that was going to be as funny of a story as it turned out to be.
If you're just tuning in for episode 48 of Paint Bravely, the podcast, we recommend that you listen to parts of episode 47.
The last 15 minutes,
The last part of episode 47 was pretty good. Casey revealed that in addition to Santa Claus, his family had another generous being, which was a handy-capable chicken that lived in a bucket of shavings in his kitchen in his childhood home. And sometimes under that Christmas tree, there'd be a gift for little Casey from the chicken in the bucket, and the whole family would laugh, and the chicken would just kind of make chicken noises from over in the kitchen, is my understanding. Yeah.
Oh, no, straight out, he lived in the living room. He was out there next to the tree, my friend.
He was next to the tree.
Yeah.
He was next to the tree.
That's how it works with a chicken in the bucket.
You didn't tell. I was imagining a farmhouse kitchen.
No. Are you kidding
next
me?
to the tree.
What kind of cruel people would we be to just leave the chicken all by itself in the kitchen? That's cruel. No, the chicken was
there a handle
there.
on the bucket? Could you just pick up the
I
handle?
mean, it's okay. Again, not a 5-gallon bucket, a large steel bucket, like for feeding.
Okay, so there's a handle on each side, like a bathtub. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So a steel like bath basin that you could lift up. So he lived in the living room, or she. I'm not actually sure.
Chicken in the basin. Yeah.
Chicken in the basin, but it was still a bucket. Just was. So, yeah. If you're interested, in the description below, there's an absolute mess of chicken in the bucket merch. And all proceeds go to funding this podcast. Yeah. That's a thing that happened. And I'm still kind of surprised about it. My understanding
is that Casey pays you. Make sure he pays you.
Oh, yeah. No, I will.
Okay.
I do.
Good.
Although after that, you should probably get paid more.
Look, it all depends on how this chicken in the bucket merch is going to sell.
That's a good point.
It is the hot topic of the end of 2021 and probably most of 2022 as well. So,
I mean, I know a lot of people are looking forward to Christmas next year. There's already talk of a secret chicken in the bucket, Santa Claus type situation. Yeah. So thank you for making that a thing.
There's also
I'm so glad.
a lot of talk about 3D printable chickens in buckets.
That's true. And if that's the case, I'm more than down with that. Like, that sounds great. I mean, I've already seen some people paint up dioramas using this idea. It was a chicken and they put it in a little bucket with hay and all this stuff, and they had it in the corner of their like diorama. So this has already become a thing.
That was a really nice piece. That was good. That was a very nice and rapidly perfected piece.
In under 12 hours.
I think they already had the diorama. They just needed the finishing touch of relocating one of the chickens they had for that diorama.
I think so, yeah. But
it all worked out. It was meant to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what else is going on with you, Casey?
Oh, man. Well, besides that, unfortunately, too, I didn't get any Christmas presents from the chicken in the bucket, but I did happen to get some good stuff. I got some nice scenic grass, some resin for my 3D printers, some Tamiya putty, which I haven't used, and I've been wanting to for a while for gap filling and stuff, which apparently is really flammable. So I'm not sure how that's going to go, but
that makes sense.
And then I got a single paint bottle of hexed lichen, which is supposed to be very good. It's Vallejo, yeah.
What company is that?
Vallejo, pretty sure Vallejo.
Okay.
Vallejo's hexed lichen, yeah. I don't know. It's around here.
And I've heard about it. I've heard tales of hexed lichen.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I've heard tales. Place it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So not too bad.
Purple?
Yeah, it's purple. Yeah. You nailed it. You got it. Yeah, it's all coming back.
All coming back.
Right. I actually did purchase and plan on playing the Stormcast army this year.
Okay.
I went ahead and I just jumped right into the GW pit hole, right into that Sarlacc pit, and I bought the Sigmarines. I mean, partially because Warfire was nice enough to give us those dragons, and it's kind of like, man, like, this is a sweet dragon. Like, I want to paint this cool dragon, and I need a good excuse. So why not spend an extra $300 and fill out my Stormcast army? So I did that.
All checks out.
Yeah, it does.
So are you getting Stormcasters from 3rd edition AOS, or?
Oh yeah, that's all new.
The original Liberators.
No, I'm only doing Dominion Plus. So dragons, I got the big dragon, got a couple of little dragons, and then I doubled down on some of the units from the starter box that look cool. I have no idea if they're good or it's just they look cool. The ones that I'm actually like excited to paint. So, I got the what was it that Santa Claus? Look at the Black Santa guy. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. The other guy, the new Stormcast.
Oh, he's like freaking, the guy from the cinematics?
Yeah, he's like freaking Mr. T in Stormcast armor. He's huge. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I got that guy, picked that guy up.
Got him. Yeah.
So I don't know.
He's in there.
I didn't think I'd be so excited about like Stormcast models or even like a Space Marine type thing, but for some reason these just really do it for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Stormcast and Space Marines are the ones that people tend to accrue whether they intend to or not.
That's true.
And then a lot of times you look at your collection and you're within striking distance of putting, fielding a little force there. So
that's very true. I know we're both very close on Space Marines, or definitely over 2,000 points, like an army's worth, for sure. Because it just happens, right? Like Space Marines it's like all of a sudden they pop up. Yeah, so that's true. Definitely I've almost pulled the trigger on that several times.
Like, for me, it's just finding the right paint.
Right.
Although I will say there's one paint in the Army Painter airbrush line that is the best green I've ever seen.
Ooh.
And it's the closest I'd call it is like salamander green for 40K. Okay. Or is what it seems closest to. I think it's called Savage Green. And so I think it may have ended for like an orc base coat or something. But
that'd be my guess.
It is. And there are so many different types of greens. Us humans see so many shades of green, but this is the one. This is the one, I'm telling you.
I mean, I kind of feel like that about the color jade from Pro Acryl. Like, it's just such a strong green. It's like, it's so good. And I've used it recently and been like just very happy. I don't know. You're right about that though. And for some reason, I don't know if it's green in general, if it's just me, but I seem to gravitate pretty hard towards green. I don't know why. Good color.
As a child, when we were asked what our favorite colors were, my response was green at the time. Yeah.
Orange. Still is.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Green and orange go well together, whether you're putting together a Wa or you're putting together a salamander host,
That's true. Like the nice orange on the orange flames, on the salamanders. Yeah. Man, it's good stuff. I like it.
So did you decide on a paint scheme for your new Sigmarines there?
I did, and it's so boring. This is the thing that...
You're just doing box art? We've had this talk. You're doing box art, aren't you? Did you spray them all gold yet? You did spray them all gold, didn't you?
No, but here's the thing. So, because I did a video about this, right? Like, I talked about Stormcast and how they're not good. Because I don't like them. I really didn't care at all. And I painted so many Stormcast. Like, thousands of points of Stormcast, right? And... like when I was doing the Stonecast thing, it was like, okay, that was pretty fun because it's not normal and you could do this with anything, right? And it's fun. I'm thinking about doing it with like a Fire Slayer's army kind of thing, like just to get it done, right? But painting them normal, it's like, it's a huge pain in the ass because the way they want you to do is spray it all gold and then fill in the blanks, right? Well, unfortunately, most of the Stormcast from, when they came out to the new ones are really not built that way. They're not built for painting in that kind of manner. Like, realistically, if you're going to airbrush something, I wouldn't be picking the armor to airbrush. I'd be picking the armor to fill in with a brush after I did all the complicated stuff.
That's an option.
Yeah. So it just feels really backwards. But now, with the new ones, I feel like somebody was like, now hang on, we need to take a step back and figure this out. And it actually works this time. Like, you paint it gold and you fill in the rest, and it's like, wow, this actually worked. I don't know how it worked, but it worked. And it was like oddly satisfying to do like a really cool like bronze gold, and a little bit of patina and some kind of weathering, but like real light, and then fill in the details. And it was like, this looks really good, and I didn't have to work very hard. Using like a panel liner especially over it all worked. Just hit all the buttons for me. And it's like not that different from the actual box art. It's a little bit different because I'm using some like teal oil wash for some of the crevices. It looks pretty cool with the gold, even though it's gold doesn't do that, but it looks legit. It looks real nice. But it's kind of mixing it up a little bit. But I don't know. I surprised myself, I think. just going with something so box arty. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any of these army games, if you actually find a paint scheme that you like, that's a special moment. That's a, for me at least, that is the big step, is finding a paint scheme you actually like. And you know what? I'm not going to judge you for having it close to the box art. That's fine.
Yeah.
You do lots of stuff that's not close to the box art. You're good. You're
good. True. I tend not to. I tend to try not to anyways.
Yeah.
It depends on the day.
You know what?
What?
And if you actually go to a tournament with your box art Stormcast army, you could still go to that tournament and in your own head, when you're standing next to 3 other people with that paint scheme, be like, yeah, but mine's better.
I mean, look, I'm not going to say it won't be better.
I mean, there's a decent chance, you know.
There's a small chance that because the other minor details and the slight changes, like, I'm not doing gaudy, bright gold. It's like a muted, almost copper gold, right? It's dark gold. Yeah. So it's like there's some shine in the highlights that look really cool, but then like all the rest of it's kind of matted from underneath. Like it's a whole thing. I'll have to throw some pictures up, send them to Matt, throw them up, because it's not quite, but it still looks like box art, but it's not quite. So I don't know.
All right.
I think I could hold my own.
All right. Now you said you were doing panel liner. Is that like Tamiya panel liner or?
Yeah.
Or
so
like an oil?
Yeah, like an enamel, oil enamel,
okay.
whatever.
Okay.
For that particular thing, because there's a lot of silvers in there too, so like black. But then the teal stuff that I was talking about is just straight up like mineral spirits and mixed oil paints. So.
Okay.
A little different. Yeah.
So I finally tried the expensive mineral spirits and expensive oil paint mixture.
Yes. How do you feel?
It is the same as the cheap stuff. It is exactly the same as the cheap stuff.
Yes, it is. It's really not that different. Winsor Newton has like a higher pigment count probably, and it seems to not like thin out as much. But like that's been my only experience, and only in black specifically. Most of the other colors seem fine.
Yeah. Because I've got a box of US Art or Rose Art or something, and I've got just the hardware store mineral spirits or paint thinner or whatever. Mix those up.
You didn't buy the arts? Wait.
Well, no, I have a cheap combo and I have an expensive combo. I have the Da Vinci and the Winsor Newton.
Okay.
And separately, I have my Rose Art and hardware store.
And hardware store,
and it's pretty similar. It's pretty similar.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like you go to paint like a deck or something. You know, like you're thinning that stuff down with mineral spirits, and you're staining it or whatever you're doing with oils, and so same stuff.
So this is something that I've just started to finally piece together, but when I've used oil washes before, there's kind of some sediments that really make me angry.
Yeah.
And so I did a test where I put the oil wash that I mixed up in a glass vial, shake it up, and you kind of let the liquid, at first it's just entirely opaque, like your glass vial is just a black vial. And then the stuff kind of streaming down the sides and pooling in the bottom of the vial. Sure. Then, as the stuff is streaming down the sides, I get these rows of sediment. Yeah. Little tiny black chunks down the sides of the vial.
Right.
And separately, I've taken like that Tamiya panel liner or those enamel washes like the store-bought stuff, put them in a little glass vial, shaking them up. They don't have that nasty stuff.
No.
So it's a situation where you know what? Instead of buying expensive Winsor Newton paint and expensive Da Vinci, I mean, as a chemist, the whole idea of expensive paint thinner like kind of hurts my brain. But I did it. I did it just to run the test. I did it.
Right. It's made of odorless mineral spirits. It's made.
Right. but yeah, I actually think I prefer the store-bought enamel washes because they've at least strained out the chunks that are in the homemade washes, you know.
I have to say that in my experience with like Testers and Tamiya, their enamel washes tend to just be better than most oil washes. Like
that makes sense.
The pigment's just nicer. Whatever the enamel thinner is, just seems to work a little bit better. Like actually panel lining something with the little brush that comes in it is more satisfying because it's a darker line and it tends to stay that way. So I don't know. I mean, I still like oil washes. I use them for like, especially if you're filtering things, if you're trying to filter colors or trying to bring colors together. Like on my what is it, that Tragoth hag, there are multiple different colors of wash that blend together and create kind of an overall like coating that makes it look like it, you know, it's a little more natural. All the colors kind of start to run together and blend together. It makes your blending look better, like your actual like acrylic blending. So it's doing more than just panel lining in those cases, and I still like those. So
yeah, I mean, especially if you're mixing up like custom colors of oil washes, that totally makes sense. But if you just need a go-to black panel line wash, I mean, I feel like I need to do a little more testing, but I'm leaning towards just buy a store mixed black panel line or you know, enamel wash. Yeah.
I mean, the fact of the matter is that Tamiya black panel liner and other colors are like $5.
Right.
You should just buy it. It's the same price as a pot of paint.
That's cheaper than the bottle of Winsor Newton paint. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So it's almost like not even an argument. It's interesting because I feel like that never comes up. Like I've been told multiple times, they're like, "Oh, you use the pre-mix? Are you joking? Like how expensive is that?" And it's like it was $4.50 on Amazon.
It goes against my brain too, because I consider myself to generally be like a do-it-yourself person, to like kind of sneer at like all these mixed things. Yeah. Airbrush cleaner. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Like, yeah,
I got isopropyl alcohol for days.
Right. But yeah, on the topic of oil washes, one, you know, homemade, you can make your own color blends, and that's nice. And two, I mean, with a bottle of Winsor Newton wash, you can make, or Winsor Newton paint, you can make a lot of oil wash. Like if you if you do have a paint scheme that involves you just dunking your entire army in oil and then wiping a ton of it off, okay, you know, make your homemade stuff. Don't go through 3 bottles of Tamiya, I guess, but yeah.
I did do a test between the panel liner and the black oil wash on the Stormcast models that I did paint, and I ended up using the panel liner. So for this army, I'm probably going to go through a couple bottles of panel liner because I know it's going to look better.
There you go.
Yeah, and if I spend money on this thing.
Right.
I'm gonna make it look as good as I can. And this army, which is different than most of the armies I tend to go for, I'm actually planning on trying to make it look pretty good. Whereas most of the armies, not that I'm not trying to make it look good, but I'm trying to get through them in like a week. You know what I mean?
We gotta crank them. We gotta go.
Yeah. Like I painted like 4 armies last year, and Brent's still on like his half of first army ever. Still gotta work on that.
No comment. Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying. But there's something to be said for just speed painting through some stuff and making them look as good as possible in a certain amount of time. But you know what? That's a little more segue-y than I wanted to get into our main topic. But yeah, we'll get there in a little bit. You know, I'm just gonna pump the brakes for a minute, a little bit.
Okay.
So
you know, I got more to say about panel lining. That's actually that's what I've been working on. And so I tested just a whole bunch of different black bottles that I had at my desk, basically for panel lining and black lining. And I discovered, or like rediscovered, that I love black ink. So for the like oil-based, organic-based washes, those are the ones that really do a good job of running on their own and filling up those lines in the armor and stuff. So yeah, to me, a panel liner is a pretty good product, and it kind of has a mind of its own. It just fills up those gaps really quick. That's nice. Yeah. But if you want to use like water-based stuff, black ink is amazing. Yeah. So black ink, you have more control. You actually, like, it doesn't go running off and filling up the panel lines. You have to physically trace the entire length of any line that you're black lining.
Right.
But man, the feel of that ink coming off the brush, the amount of control that you have, the like boldness of the look of those brush strokes are amazing. And yeah, no, it reminded me of Mike Cousins, Epic Duck Studio, does his comic book style paint jobs. Yes. Yeah. And just a plug for Epic Duck Studios. Go watch those streams, go watch those videos. He makes amazing use out of black ink. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to be clear, he's not your cousin.
No, not my cousin.
Yeah. Just the way you said it, I thought that might confuse some people.
Pretty sure his last name is Cousins.
Oh, I'm not sure, but
or stage name.
Yeah, when you said it, I just thought that's what you said, and I was like, "Hang on now!" Like, no.
Yeah, check out my cousin Mike. Yeah,
that's just what it sounded like. So I just wanted to throw that out there, like, because that'd be crazy. That would have been crazy.
It would have been.
Suppose a better joke would have been to not say anything and let it go on like it was true. Next time. But yeah, he's got those like real thick black lines to give that comic book look. It's very distinctive.
Right. He adds in like big, thick black shadows with that black ink, and sometimes he does the, I don't know, kind of like cross hatching or whatever it's called. I mean, it looks like a comic book, and it looks good. Yeah. Yeah, so that's me. I'm adding like black ink of my things to get really into here going forward.
Yeah. Man, back in the day, before washes, GW used to make all the inks, right? And that's what people would use for washes, and they'd put things in there like to make them flow like oil paints, right? They'd put dish soap and water to make them do that stuff. Or I think the popular thing these days still is the what is the floor wax polish stuff? Floor polish?
Pledge floor care. Yeah.
Yes. You mix that with ink, right? And all of a sudden you get this massively high gloss, like it'll run into any crevice and look the best it can look.
Yeah.
So that's funny. It's like a thing that people do. It's evolved from like dish soap to Pledge floor cleaner.
I mean, I feel like Pledge floor cleaner is in the past. You know, our hobby goes through these fads, and I'm pretty sure that Pledge floor cleaner was like the fad. I don't know, 8 years ago.
Was it really that long ago? Oh man,
it hasn't been too recently. I mean, I was doing it because I just heard about it 3-4 years ago. But
yeah, see, I've never tried it. I've heard about it.
Last year, I actually bought a second bottle. I have 2 bottles of Pledge Floor Care. But I bought a second bottle because they changed the packaging, and I'm like, I might do a video on this someday. So I have 2 bottles of Pledge Floor Care. Yeah, like under my sink right now. Yeah.
It turns out great for cleaning floors. Like real good.
Yeah. That was the thing about when I was testing all the paint strippers. Simple Green was not that good at stripping paint, but man, it cleans my kitchen like like a dream.
Yeah. This doesn't smell too bad. It's kind of nice. Oh, first episode of the new year, and Brent just gets up and leaves once again. I don't know if there's going to be any stopping that. I mean, I keep telling them the cats are fine. Just tell them the cats are fine. Anyways, so Pledge floor cleaner, Simple Green, all good things to use in your house. Maybe not these days so much for minis.
Yeah, most people don't want a super glossy wash, but I don't know. I've got a bottle of glossy Agrax Earthshade on my shelf that I've never ever used, and
don't.
Be fun to just reproduce that with items from Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've never used the gloss Agrax Earthshade. I actually don't really, like, off the top of my head, I can't think of an actual use for that. Yeah, I got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah. It was a mistake for me. I had knocked over my Agrax Earthshade and I needed to replace it, and I accidentally bought the gloss.
You know, there's part of me that thinks that I suppose the conspiracy is that they produce specific things that look like things or are similar enough to the thing that you actually want, to where you buy it without realizing it, and you're like, I just spent $7 and I opened this and I cannot return it. Therefore, I have to spend another $7 on a bottle of actual Agrax Earthshade.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
Yeah. Oh, sons of bitches.
So Games Workshop stole Goobertown Roulette. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
Yeah. Sons of bitches. Exactly. Just being that for you.
In one of their Warhammer community articles, they have they had one, just a filler article, searching for inspiration. Try our high-tech random hobby project generator. Patent pending.
Never seen that before.
Roll a dice to select a mini to paint. Then roll for theme. Then roll for mood. Then roll for color. Several people messaged me when this article came out. I'm just sitting there at my computer shaking my head like...
I mean, if it wasn't
makes me
like
curious,
this is the exact same thing.
Did they literally just watch some Goobertown Roulette and then bash out this filler article, or I mean, are they actually unaware? It makes me curious.
You gotta wonder. I mean, obviously, like, being in the hobby for a while now, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is. I mean, being like on YouTube and kind of in the community within it, up to date on things. I would think that most people who have painted a model in the last 2 or 3 years know the name Goobertown. I mean,
possible.
It's not a big hobby, right? It's not. So it just seems weird. Like that no one could possibly have thought that was, I mean, I don't know.
And not that I have the patent on random number generators, and not that it's a particularly difficult thing to think up, but even if they independently, invented a random paint game, still you'd think they'd be aware of a reasonably popular random paint game on the internet.
That's kind of more what I'm getting at. Like even if you didn't know necessarily, it's like you've probably heard.
Yeah,
they've been whisperings.
Like a ringing a bell somewhere for either the author or the editor on that piece of filler on their blog. I don't know, but maybe. But
nice to ask.
It was just when they posted it on Twitter, they wrote, "Check out our patent pending game." Just like
that is weird, right?
I mean, last week we talked about that time you posted somebody's picture without finding their name first, but you didn't say that you invented that picture.
No, that's very true. I didn't say that. No. So this is definitely like we talked about a line. I think this is over that line just a little bit. Like
it's pretty close. And again, not that it would be difficult to independently invent this. Like, it's not like we all like D6s. We like little stupid rolling games. We like painting. A group of monkeys could invent Goobertown Roulette pretty easily.
Okay, well, so
but
even more
monkeys
so
that were associated with the hobby would know that Goobertown Roulette exists in the same world in which they exist, and
now that it's after the fact, it just makes me
curious if they consciously made the decision not to in any way acknowledge that similar games exist, and or if they actually didn't know. It makes me curious.
I think it's more like they just don't care. Because in the long run, like, does it matter to them one way or another? It's like, we posted our blog, we got the SEO thing done, we did the thing we're supposed to do. Oh no, it's like somebody else's thing that they said. Now people are saying, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Next week we're posting about, something else.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Well, it depends on how corporate their blog is, right? Like how personal it is to the authors writing it, or if it's just strictly for marketing.
Yeah. I mean, in the long term, like there's an element of networking and politicking and all that goes in here, and I don't know, irritating me and some of the folks I know is not like it's not great. Worth the filler blog article.
I mean, it's not. It's not, but then again,
anyway, that's something that happened to me this week, and it's just one of those things. Like, I wake up, I have a bunch of messages, like Games Workshop has decided to require that I check Twitter every half hour for the rest of the day. Like, all right,
great,
all right. I guess we're doing this today again.
It is a weird thing.
But yeah, no, we can move on from that now. They did spell, like, when you roll a dice for color, they did spell color. So I think they made enough of a change from color to color that I think it's
makes sense. Yeah,
different.
Iterating upon.
So that's a legally distinct entity. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
Yeah, patent that. Yeah. Elf to elf,
Or you mean orc to orc? Wait, what?
Orc to orc.
I'm confused. Yep. Like, you just spell it a little bit differently. Damn it, Brent, where are you going again? Got up again. I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about, whether or not Games Workshop knows we exist, or if they just flat out ignore us. I assume they just ignore us most of the time. That's my guess. They just don't care.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So in other news, I checked out that Book of Boba Fett, and no spoilers, but in Jabba's palace, there are a couple of Gamorreans, which are those green pig guards,
Yeah.
And, I think they might have been shirtless in Return of the Jedi, but in the Book of Boba Fett, they are definitely shirtless, or they had like a little bit of fur on or something.
Right, they had
fur on their shoulders.
They had like an ammo strap or something, right? Something weird. Yeah, like a little patch of something. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Yeah, but I think
like the human guy
lighting,
didn't have a shirt on.
The lighting, it wasn't really clear whether they were wearing a shirt or not. But in the Book of Boba Fett, these are shirtless Gamorreans. These are shirtless green pig people, and the first thing I thought is that these were painted by Casey at eBay Miniature Rescues. they look like exactly the way you would paint a troll or a giant or something. Right. It's green. The Gamorreans are green. Yeah. And it's like airbrushed in some more fleshy colors for their pecs and the stomach. And just I was just like, man, I love this character design. Casey, they stole this from Casey. Like
it's possible. I got a lot of those. A lot of green skin with like not a lot of green skin. Like, That's funny. I haven't seen it yet though. I can't wait to watch it now. But did you like it? Was it good? Or, I mean, not without spoilers. Like, did you like the first episode?
Yeah. I was for whatever reason I didn't have high hopes, but my low hopes were exceeded.
That's good.
I'm ready for episode 2 here. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's all I needed to hear. That's good news. I can rest easy. Man, I'm so far behind on stuff though, like shows and
man, you got to get that free month of CBS All Access, that Paramount Plus, get that Discovery Season 4, see if that's still not worth watching.
I still haven't seen the first season. I haven't even finished the first season. When you get that
free month, you're going to have some catching up to do. Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I thought when I got the free month. And then they got me because I didn't watch anything. Like I
Are you
wasted
paying
that
for Paramount Plus right now?
Not currently, no. I did cancel it, but not after they got me for a couple months, man. They did. And granted, it was like a $7 couple of months, but you know, it was discount. But man, yeah, no, I haven't caught up on like a lot of things. It's been busy. Yeah, been focusing on the Hot Wheels stuff too a lot lately. So I got my fancy track in the starter, which I did take video of that I will send to Matt. I will. And it should be up right now, hopefully on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/paintbravely, the podcast, if you want to see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so like I ordered this really cool, it's a start line with a finish line that tells you like the times, right? I bought a bunch of track and I don't know, all sorts of stuff. Bought a bunch of cars and packs. And I'm ready to go. We're working on plans to build. And we're trying to figure out a place in my house that I can actually put it. Because, I don't have very much space in my office. And I'm not sure. We're even talking, in our bedroom kind of thing. We got, a corner we might throw it in. But I don't know. So that's kind of the issue currently. But I've been unpacking all that. It's been pretty exciting.
I'm happy for you. Get those Hot Wheels going.
Yeah. It's fun. It's weird. I didn't think I'd be so into it, but for some reason, racing Hot Wheels cars is, it brings me back.
Maybe you could pack up your racing simulator, your car box. Maybe just pack that all up, and that's where you can put your track.
I mean,
no.
No. No. Yeah. No, actually, I did just purchase a couple of joysticks for space simulation. I did.
For space what?
Space simulators.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So your Star Citizens and your Elite Dangerouses.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dual joystick setup, that hangs off the desk. Got all that going, so that's coming in the mail. I don't know.
That's
man.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
The simulation game is it's hitting me hard lately, and then this Hot Wheels thing. So,
living the dream.
Yeah, something like that.
Last week I was playing a little bit of Minecraft, and I don't know a ton about the game, but I just realized that there is no boundary to the world. There's an upper boundary and a lower boundary to Minecraft maps. But if you just start going east, you just keep going east until there are some serious computational limits hit in
for rendering or
in theory, but in reality, it never happened. But
yeah, interesting. So did you wander for several hours in one direction?
That's my goal. That's my goal. I'm building a train track to nowhere, just into the east, always into the east. Yeah,
it's a good call. I like.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I assume it's a Dark Tower reference, but is it not?
It's a Diablo 2 reference. Marius and the Wanderer they traveled east, always into the east.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
I can't remember if I think that's before they get to Loot Golin. Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. I literally don't remember.
It doesn't matter. Back on topic.
It sounds like a Dark Tower reference is all I'm saying. I feel like I've heard that somewhere in the Dark Tower
Hot
series.
Wheels, which is tenuously attached to this topic of mini painting and painting bravely. Yeah.
Well, the reason that it is attached is because it's essentially building a giant wargaming board, but on a wall. So instead of it being flat, right, because they're not powered, I got to do a downhill race. So the whole issue that I'm facing is, how do I put an 8-foot board on my wall? Where do I put that to have a track that can go down and then 3-dimensionally come out so that there can be turns and whatever else there has to be? It's a tough hobby thing. I'm actually, I mean, that's why I'm planning on filming it, because it's this is a straight up hobby issue.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. But more excited about that than a lot of things lately, because I've never done anything like that in the hobby. Like, and I've never done like a board build, and then just slapping it up sideways on a wall seems like the worst place to start. So should be interesting.
Hey, I'm excited.
That's good. see how terrible it goes. Oh man.
Well, no, Gamma is only a couple months away, which is Game Manufacturers Conference, which is in Reno, and we're gonna be out there in a few months, and hey, we'll have some beers, we'll nail stuff to your wall.
That's true.
You just let me know. I'm there for it. I'm there for it.
All right. Well, now that you've said it on a recording, yeah, we're definitely doing that. I didn't even think of that. Didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
There's a world where I don't even go home between Gamma and Adepticon.
I know. Well, I mean, what is it, like a week? Is it a week?
I think it's like 4 days. So
holy crap.
We'll talk. Yeah.
We're gonna have to. Yeah, that's not bad. I think that okay. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk when we're not talking. Interesting.
Right, we got topics. Do you got more topics?
Yeah. I mean, I cut off the segue right at the neck. You know, when we were going. Anyways, there goes Brent again, getting mad at the headphones, getting up. I just don't understand. Tell him the cats are fine. It seems fine. Now let's find our topic before he gets back. All right, so the topic for today is the importance of having a goal/game for your model or your model. And the thing with this is that what I've found more recently in kind of picking up and playing like Age of Sigmar or 40K again on the more regular is that whenever I have some kind of specific deadline, and more especially when it's attached to a game, I just feel something different when I'm putting together or if I'm painting models, like things that I don't like actual physically building a model, which I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I don't like scraping mold lines. I don't like
I love it.
Gluing all the stuff together. It's just bullshit. I don't like it. Okay? I don't know. It's just tedious to me. I'd rather be painting. So that's why I usually buy used stuff off eBay. It's already put together. I can fix it up. It's like it takes way less time, whatever, all these things. But even those things, I just feel better doing it. It's like there's an end goal and I'm excited to, I guess, follow through on something. Like, I want to paint it. I want to show it. I want to be, having a friend over and, having a good time. Check this model out. I just built this. I just painted this new unit over here. This is what it does. It's going to wreck that unit over there. It's going to do something. Like, it just feels better and it's more motivating and it just makes you want to paint more minis. And I like that.
Yeah. So this is definitely where I entered the hobby. And it took me many, many years to realize that I like painting way more than I like games. Mm-hmm. And yet the games being in the background as one, if I do have a friend that's excited to play something, that can kind of get me excited as a reason to be doing my painting. But two, there's always that excuse and that framework of I am painting this army because maybe someday I'll play a game with it.
Yeah.
So within this topic, yeah, there's kind of that long range justification for our entire hobby, and it's really interesting how enmeshed games are with the mini painting hobby. And then there's also that short term push of getting really excited and motivated about a specific project. I think both of those are really interesting how they're tied up in this hobby.
I mean, yeah. What's even deeper into that too is like, how many games do you play in a year? Even 1 or 2?
Right. Yes. About there.
So that's kind of insane when you think about it. It's like that's our motivating factor for painting these models a lot of the times, yet we only do it a couple times a year. It's partially why I wanted one of my goals this year to be, I want to play in a tournament, because it's like the motivation behind finishing like an entire army, like it's a different type of motivation than like, oh, I have to finish a video, or I'm doing something, whatever it is. It's like, well, no, now there's like an actual reason to do this, right? And I mean, even if you're just like going to hang out with somebody who doesn't care if anything's painted, it's like, for me, just putting a model together, it's like, look, oh yeah, I just want to play this unit to test it out. We're just testing armies, we're testing lists. Like, I'm not going to paint it necessarily, whatever the case is. Like, it's still way more fun, and it feels different, and it makes me want to paint more. And a lot of the times too, it makes me want to try harder, even though I'm trying to rush to get something done. It's like, no, I really want this to look good. Like I think it was last year, editor Matt was going to come over. We were going to learn and play. This is like right when Warcry came out, so it might have been a couple years ago at this point, but like we were going to learn and play it, and we were like dedicated to doing that. And I went through and painted like 4 war bands the night before, like just busted them out. And I was trying at the same time. Like I stayed up to like literally like 4 a.m, and it was like the best staying up till 4 a.m. that I'd had in a long time. And like, right. I mean, I don't know about a lot of you guys, but I'm getting up there in the age, a little bit, and staying up till 4 a.m. kind of sucks, but not that day. It was a good day.
You got to get your Bang Blue Raz Potent Brain and Body Fuel Super Creatine mix.
Bro, I have had like 4 monsters today, okay? That shit doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but does Monster have creatine? Why does this have creatine?
Because you're drinking pre-workout, man. Like, what are you doing to yourself? This was a problem
does this have
like a couple months ago. Creatine? If it does, that's straight up just like, you should not be drinking
I'm going to read my can.
Oh, the chemist, the PhD. Go, wait a minute. What's in this drink? Yeah, you know what I'm drinking? I'm drinking the Buble with 0 of anything. It's a water.
Okay. So yeah, this Blue Raz drink is perfectly clear, but I could use it to stay up till 4 a.m. painting. But actually, some of my very first memories of this hobby were getting models and knowing that I was hanging out with my friends the next day to play some of our very first games of Warhammer. And I remember staying up all night because I just bought 5 metal Dark Eldar Witch Elves. Ooh. And this is an expensive box of 5 metal models. These have got to be really good on the tabletop, right? Let's bang these out as quick as we can and try to make them look good. But yeah, it's really, I'm going to use the word motivating many times in this sentence, but the motivation is so motivational when you're motivated to be painting some minis for a game. But
absolutely,
yeah, there's a lot of things going on there. One, it's for yourself because you want to have something painted for the game, but it's also your chance to show off your work and your creativity. Mm-hmm. Like, now we live in the digital age where we have the options of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, not Grindr. What's the other one? Tumblr.
Circles.
Yeah.
Tumblr. Yeah. Reddit. 4chan. I get you. I see where you're coming from.
Right. So, I mean, there is a human need to share what we make and get a little bit of validation, and we can get that on the internet, but we can also just get it directly from our friends. Like, oh man, I want to see what Casey says when I slap this down on the table. He didn't even know I was painting Tau, but here we go. We got this.
Wait,
this railgun. What's Casey gonna do when I got this sweet Tau railgun on the table?
Talking about posts that like you seeing all day with the railgun, people. It's fine. Stop with the railgun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's too much.
All the stupid stuff goes through cycles, but the day we're recording this, every post on social media has been, can you believe the rules for this railgun? It's like, they change the rules every month. It doesn't, who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
and they even came out the other day.
Play a game this month? Is anyone playing a game this month? Like,
again, going back
honestly,
to that, like,
tell
are
me
you
are
actually
playing as or against Tau this month? Otherwise, the rules will change next month. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit much, honestly. I mean, the whole rules thing for anybody that plays 40K is a joke.
Yeah.
Like, because it really is the thing. Like, what's the meme? It's like, nothing, Warhammer players hate more than when things change and then when things stay the same. Like, the rules are the same or the rules change. It's like, I hate it all. Doesn't even matter. It's like, somebody's going to be disappointed. And you know what? I hope you take a railgun to the face. I'd love to see that. Because it probably won't happen.
But, yeah, there, for me especially, there was that element of, oh man, I want to show these guys my witch elves. They'll be like, oh, you painted them Dark Angels green. Oh, those look cool. They go with your scab red Kabalite warriors, which were just called warriors. Yeah,
right.
And
that's all we had back then.
Yeah, but there's that element of that is your chance to display your minis. Like that that is part of the framework of these games. Is the games are the excuse, the reason you need to put a bunch of painted toys out on the table.
Yes.
And be like, look at this. And if we're being honest, for me, the high point of any game is the beginning of turn one, where as many models as possible are on the table looking cool.
Yeah. In fact,
you're
I
a
just
coward
played,
if you have any in reserve for deep striking. Yeah.
Oh, come on. But that's what my list does, man. Come on.
It's cool to have models that nobody can see. Yeah, that's fun. Seems fun.
Man, 1999, 1998, whatever it was, 3rd edition 40K. Deep striking with Eldar warp spiders, that was thematic shit, okay? I felt really good about that. I'm like, look, these guys, they're in the warp, okay? You don't know what that is. It's not in your codex.
No, there was the left half of the pool table and there was the right half of the pool table.
It's very true.
And there were like 3 pieces of styrofoam in between. Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what it was.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's bringing me back so good. Yeah, it's funny. I found out the other day that, like, I always thought that I started with 4th edition, but it turns out I started with 3rd edition, and I had that book and like the codexes for that, and I didn't even realize. Not that it really matters at all, but
memories. Yeah,
just good memories, man. But yeah, I guess the gist of kind of what we're talking about isn't necessarily that you should tie your mini painting to a game, although I think that is probably the best way to go about it, like to find the thing that actually excites you to use the models that you have, but something that gets you like really excited to actually follow through on what you want to do to paint, right? Mm-hmm. So if you want to be posting on Instagram, you want to get a model a day or you want a model a week or whatever it is, like you got something going and people are excited about that and you can share that and have a conversation around that. If that's the thing that does it for you, then great. But whatever it is, I think you need to find that. You need to search for what that actually is. Like for me, I think that playing games is actually that thing. Like, not necessarily competition painting or getting so good that like, I'm doing stuff, but having something that looks good enough that my friends can be like, oh dude, that's fucking cool. And then I can blow them off the table with a railgun because I have a Tau arm. So
right.
That's what I'm excited for. Well,
I was thinking about what other kind of external deadlines are there that are fun deadlines.
Right.
So going to play a game is like a fun deadline that you can get jazzed up about and that you can be thinking about all week coming up to the weekend, and you can be painting for as many hours a night as you can leading up to that and really getting into it. and you're psyched to put your boar boys down on the table because that's going to be your new core unit for this game.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
boar boys just dropped 10 points. That's right.
And I was trying to think of like what other like fun deadlines there are, and there aren't that many.
Probably
so there's gift giving. So we just had Christmas.
That's a good one.
You better believe that every Christmas I pass off like a 3D printed Brent to one family member or another as a gift.
You got that going for you, for sure.
Yeah,
that's great.
But you can pass off minis of
Brent
furry animals, or like wizards with their little owls, or I mean almost anything. You paint up a mini, somebody's gonna like it. But that's a situation in gift giving. It's fun because you're excited to see what they're gonna say about it, and you got that deadline for that little extra motivation. But it's not like a bad deadline, like you're doing commission painting, or you've got like a scary golden demon competition coming up or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because some of those other deadlines don't seem like that much fun. And then there also are the like the fun, lighthearted internet competitions. Goobertown Roulette is just like one of many that are floating around out there. It seems like some people can get jazzed about that and have that be their motivation to get some sweet painting done.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's games. Like it is amazing to me how, I mean, playing games and painting minis seem like very different hobbies, and yet they are so tied up in one another that it's kind of boggling.
Yeah. I mean, it's permeated most board games now, just regular board games.
Right.
So it's not going away, right? Like, I want to paint all these models to play in this board game. I don't know. That seems weird because it's like when we were kids. It's like, it's a little pewter Monopoly dog. That seems fine, good enough. Or paper card in a little holder seems good.
Right.
Or D&D Imagination.
No, not anymore, my man.
Not anymore. Not anymore. No. Everything is miniature centric. All the games that we play that's surrounded us at this point, and it's, I don't know, it's an interesting world to be alive, man. Like, I feel good as a miniature painter that they're just an infinite supply.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna.
But
paint
it goes
them
the
all.
other way too. Like as a miniature painter, if you say, I want to check out a different company with a different collection of minis for me to paint. I want to check out a different line of miniatures for me to paint. The word you say is, I got this new game called Conquest from Parabellum. I got this new game called Infinity. Like,
right, that's true. You're not even saying anything else. Like,
you refer to a line of blank 3D canvases as games.
That's true.
It's just if you. Of course, there are a very small number of boutique display bust, companies that are, busts are not part of games, or very rarely.
True. But what I'm finding is that a lot of those companies are breaking into at least the skirmish game world. Creature Caster. In fact, I have to finalize my pledge manager, whatever. I did their Kickstarter for their skirmish game, and I'm going to be getting a bunch of Creature Caster models in, I think, 32 mil. Still go. Creature Caster resin and all the good high quality stuff, but it is strictly straight up for a different game that I hope to play. So I was kind of hoping that we go to AdeptCon. I'm hoping that they're going to be teaching people how to play the game, because there's nothing better than going to a place and having someone just show you how to do it, and then you can jump right in whenever.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, the entire framework for the mini painting hobby is games. It is the way you talk about buying a new box of minis. I bought a new game. I bought an expansion to a new game. I bought a faction in a game.
Yeah.
It is the excuse you use a lot of the times for why I am buying and painting so many dang miniatures, because gotta get 2,000 points for this game I'm never gonna play.
Yeah, really.
And yeah, it's fascinating that this is the useful justification for all of this. Whereas, I mean, we get so many people who legitimately enjoy painting miniatures, but none of us would have found this hobby if it wasn't under this umbrella of miniature gaming.
Yeah, that's probably true for pretty much everybody.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to even off the top of my head, but come up with some kind of way that you would get into miniature painting without going through a game. Yeah, I don't know. Like dollhouses, maybe. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Meh. I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty much like you'd have to have a friend who's into the game and make the conscious decision that painting looks like fun, but I don't care about the game. Which is still kind of getting into it through the game.
Well, that's what I mean. Like it's like being introduced through the. Oh, have you heard of? Well, I've heard of Warhammer before, right? Like
the tendrils are everywhere. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting, but maybe just let us know down in the comments. What's your thing? Like, why do you paint? Why do you actually paint? Yeah.
Oh man, don't make people do soul searching like that.
But I want to. That's the point of it, man. That's why I've been feeling that way. That's why I wanted to do this topic, because it's kind of like I've just realized that like I paint to do this thing, like not the other way around. Like I like painting. I like painting more than I like playing, but when it's for a specific reason, like when I have a game or when I have a goal that's surrounding the game, all of a sudden it changes my motivations. It changes the way that I even look at an army or a model, just a single model, right? Like, it just does. I don't know.
Sure.
So soul search away. What I'm saying.
Yeah, know yourself. That's right.
Yeah. You might feel much better.
But no, for real, having the short-term goals of painting something for an actual game that will actually get played with your friends in the near-term future, that's fun. Like having that drive, having that all of those motivations of wanting to get stuff done, wanting to show off your new paint job, wanting to have a new unit for that game. It's nice to be motivated.
Yeah.
Love it.
I suppose just to add to that, there's nothing wrong with showing off your paint job. Be proud of your paint jobs. Like, go ahead and brag. I want to see it. I definitely want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We killed that one, Casey. We do it. We got it.
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about that particular topic.
There's a lot to think about here, man. Mini painting just all caught up in games. Such different hobbies, so tightly wound together.
It's true.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah. You get that infinite black background. You got your photography skills in there. Don't worry about the cats, Brent. Don't worry about them.
We got to wrap this up, Casey.
Those cats are fine. I keep saying they're fine. They're fine. Man, someday...
He's halfway up the cat tree, but he's about to go really fast, either up or down, and I'm nervous.
Nervous about... Why'd you put a cat tree there?
Oh, he loves it. He loves it.
Just as a point of maybe contemplation over the next couple of weeks, before we return, should the dice marker be on the 1 or the 6? You tell me.
Neither. And on that note... There should be a number on every face that is...
I didn't want to start an argument. I just thought it would be a thing to think about,
It's not an argument, it's a fact. Time. There should be a number on every face of a dice.
I don't see why. Number 6, you got your little taco cat on top. I think that's perfectly legit. Feel really good when I see the little picture come up. But anyways... Thank you again for joining us on another episode of Paint Bravely. If you enjoyed this podcast, please help us out by leaving us a review on iTunes, subscribing to the YouTube channel, and sharing this message with your hobby friends. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
We appreciate you. Hope
really
you're having a great 2022 over there.
About time, man. Rolled over to the new year.
I've been watching Squidbillies. There's a character on Squidbillies that just ends every conversation with, "Well, have a good one." Yeah, you ever see that Squidbillies?
I have not, but it does remind me. Somebody just said that the other day. It's like the Midwestern way of being like, "I gotta go." It's just whip, and then they just leave. Like, yeah, okay, that sounds about right. Whip. Gotta go.
All right, we're turning it off.
Yeah,
Music in here.
Push the buttons.
Shut it down. Shut it all down.